All right, welcome guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Leading Lessons podcast, episode 1. I'm super excited to be getting this started. It's something I've been passionate about for a long time, and we have a great guest here this week. I've always personally kind of believed in making an impact with people around you and finding the connections and finding people that are going to help elevate you and be the best version that you possibly can, and to bring out the best in you. You know, this person, this mentor of mine has been exactly that for me. He's kind of showed me the ropes of a lot of different things and just been an inspiration. He's a father. He's a lifelong martial artist. He has a passion for sales, teaching, and is truly the definition of a servant leader. And, you know, even though he started his career in corporate America, he found his second life in entrepreneurship and built multiple businesses, multiple teams that support and have achieved amazing things with a no quit spirit and no quit mindset and attitude every single day. So this week, I'm super happy to have Kris Sparks kind of taking us through his life, his journey, and talk to us a little bit about what leadership means to him. So Sparks, thank you so much for jumping on, man. I appreciate it.
Jay, thank you so much, man. It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you for the kind words. I take that serious when someone, uses words like, mentor. I don't take that lightly. So thank you, man. I really, that's an honor, because I had those leaders that I considered mentors, coming up. So it means a lot to be able to kind of repay that, pay it forward.
Yeah, I always kind of say the purpose of life is to help others and to help people get to where they want to be. And I've watched you idealize that for forever, right? Since the day I met you, that's kind of your whole mindset of I do things for others. I don't do things for myself. And it's amazing when you do things for others, you all of a sudden get what you want out of it, right?
Yeah, I think that, it's not me, it's God. You know what I mean? So first I give him all the glory. Like I feel like I'm led to, and called for different seasons in your life, right? Like, for time periods. And that's kind of been my story. It's literally like a movie, man. You can't make it up. It's really, I'm so lucky to have more time on this rock. That wasn't always the case. You don't know, guys. This is not a dress rehearsal, right? We used to talk about it, man. Like carpe diem, seize the day, hasten the day, man. Because in 2020, they told me I had as little as 18 months to still stay on this rock. We'll get back to that, but that type of news changes you. You don't view the world the same anymore. I view it with a different set of eyes. Today is truly a gift. This was awesome blessing to be able to jump on and share some thoughts. But I grew up in Northeast Philadelphia, born and raised. I spent most of my days chilling out, maxing, relaxing, and playing some b-ball after school. Dude, I was the Fresh Prince of my neighborhood. I loved being social. I was picked on a lot as a kid and made the transition because martial arts gave me some confidence. And I went from being the kid picked on to the kid at the dances talking to girls, that black belt mentality, and normal childhood, man, blue collar. My parents were awesome. They sent me to private school to get me out of the neighborhood, to give me a chance. Went to college and met the love of my life, man. I met my wife doing musical theater. So diversity is important to me. I think if you're listening and you're young, do a lot of things, man, but don't do them, take the time to get good at them. Be proficient, right? Like really try to master. Like a black belt is just a master of the basics. So like find something you're passionate about and really get into it. Triple down. You can only raise your inadequacies so much. Like Gary Vee talks about it. Triple down on your strengths. So that's what I would do. Like I like tennis. I would get obsessed with tennis and I would play and I would grind. And I played Division I tennis. I can say that, not well for 1 year, but I was Division I tennis player because that was the sport that I liked. Martial arts became a black belt. I have 7 black belts now. I'm a little crazy, you know what I mean? But the point to this is when I find something, I want to kind of master it. And that's what I did with sales. I fell in love with sales. When I did my first door-to-door commission-only sales job, I was like, this is great. I want to be the best. So that same mentality, you know what I mean? Like I just learned I had to practice a little bit harder than everybody else. Had to do a little bit more, like some cases a lot more. But that was the really than me. And the steady Eddie was martial arts, was always there to remind me there's always someone better,
Mm-hmm.
So it was striving for that, striving to become a better version of myself. And I was always training, and then I had whatever goal. But I was always on the mat, and then I was achieving these other goals in life. And, at 30 years old, I had reached the pinnacle of my professional career at a director level, like second, third in command, running a huge company alongside of the owner, and really just learned, like, that was an apprenticeship. And I had done that already. I ran martial arts schools and was running that for an owner and opened that. And like, so I always kind of wrote, like, the security world back in the Northeast, was running 2 offices. I always found myself in that leadership role. And one of the definitions I like of leadership is to influence others, and that's what I was doing. And because of it, I wasn't afraid. Give me the ball. I want the shot, man. Every time, give me the ball. If the game's on the line, I want the ball. And in sports, I was terrible, right? I didn't always want the ball. I think, martial arts did that. Black belts did that. Like, I'll take it, man. I got big shoulders because I'm not afraid to fail anymore. Fail, forward, fast. In the beginning,
Absolutely.
I wanted to look good, right? I didn't want to make a mistake. What I learned is nobody gives a shit about that. They just they want you to try. And they don't care. If you're honestly trying and you mess it up, you get so much grace. But like in today's world, that's what's rare, dude. Doing more than you're paid for is a lost art.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is failure is one of the best teachers, because you're going to learn so much more through failure than you are success. I know, all of us, whether it's professionally, whether it's athletically, whether it's socially, we've all taken one on the chin before, right? And it doesn't feel good, but then you realize real quick that punch didn't feel so good, and I should probably put my hands up a little bit, and I think I should go about it a little bit differently.
Man, that's it, man. But life teaches us lessons every day. A lot of people choose to ignore them. They really do. Yeah. They don't look for the lessons. And I think that was what I was lucky. I listened. Like, a lot of my mentors go, man, you really paid attention. Tim, one of my biggest mentors and friend, he was like, Sparky, you really do listen. People don't know. But when I'm standing in a room, I'm watching everyone. I'm learning from everyone. I'm looking at their shoes. I'm looking at their dress. I'm looking how they're speaking, what they're doing with their hands. Like, that's what I developed. I realized if I could pay attention to the details, I could get ahead, man. And I started winning. And so early on, young age, I'm in a very, very high position, making more money than I ever could imagine. And I did a terrible job. Again, for my young guns that are listening, following Jay, dude, 33 and a third, man, split that up. Take 33 and a third, put that off for the rainy day, the investment. Take the middle 33 and the third, use that for your bills. The other 33 and a third, dispose of it, go live, because you can't take it with you. But that's I chop my money now in thirds, and that method has worked for a lot of years, to the point that in 2020, when I got sick, I didn't work for an entire year. I was able to live out of a bank account. Not a lot of people are in that position. So I want to say I'm grateful for my wife, for my friends, my family, my students, but also that I woke up and at 30 became an entrepreneur, because it's really hard to save. But you know what? It's easier to do? Go make it. We can go sell, man. We can sell our way out of anything. We can go make more. I can go make more money. It's really hard to save more money, because you're only, so I was in Gen Pop. I got paroled. I gave myself a 2,000% raise. Shout out to my boy John Sarasani on Instagram. That's his 2,000% raise. But that's what he talked about. He went and was an entrepreneur, sold his company, and now he does what he wants. Like, that's the freedom, man. I am saying there is nothing wrong going in and working a legit job in a company. There's absolutely, you can have an incredible life. Use your money and reinvest in other things to get you the extra disposable, so you get more freedom. It's all about freedom. But I'm not knocking, corporate world too. Not at all. Just not for me, because I saw that there was more there. So I really gravitated, because I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing to find out. I'm willing to take the shot, not pay myself, have to pay payroll. All the things that go along with it. You have some tough times, but tough times don't last, right?
Yeah, and tough times make tough people at the end of the day. And I think you bring up a really good point, right? There's more than one way to go about it. You can take the entrepreneurship mindset. You can, go be the top of the line, top tier, executive level employee. There's a lot of different ways. Just like college isn't for everybody. I know plenty of people that they make more money than me, and I am blessed. I have 2 degrees, and I was able to go through college and get those experiences. But I have some friends that they never went to college, but they're doing very well for themselves. They've set the life that they're looking for and that they want. And sometimes you just have to find your way, not the way, because there's multiple ways we can go about this life. And I want to back up for a second, because we were talking about taking one on the chin and mistakes. I mean, if you reflect back into your career, I mean, can you pinpoint like maybe one major mistake you made in your career that kind of maybe was the pivotal or maybe the fork that you got to learn a lesson from, that you reflect back even now?
Yeah, yeah. So, the way I left corporate America, totally regret it. And I learned that was, I was young and immature, quitting your job on a Friday without a job, probably not the most prudent thing to do, like feels good in the moment, but that's not responsible. That's not mature. Right. So that was the turning point, because one, I never wanted to feel that way again. You know what I mean? I felt so helpless in the moment that, leading up to it. And then two, the only thing that I can leave is my name is going to be is my legacy for my kids. Right. So I want, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be the emotional, immature baby that blows up? Or do you want to be the guy that helps people selflessly? And that's when I decided I just want to be a servant leader. Like, I didn't care about the money anymore. It wasn't like, and today, like, I've made more money in my career than what I'm currently doing. I'm having the most fun. I have the most freedom, and I'm doing what I'm called to do right now. Like, it ain't about the dot. Like, I'm fine. I don't miss a meal. Right. I put myself in that position, but it was because of that day, feeling trapped, feeling helpless, feeling like there wasn't an out, and then, and exiting the way I did totally prepared me for the next stage of, now I get to be the boss, and people are going to do that to me. And then how am I going to treat my people? So it really shaped me as an entrepreneur, as a leader, on how I wanted to manage my teams. Because now the buck stopped with me. I'm signing the checks now, right? So they'll hire me to consult. They'll tell me how they're doing it, and then they tell me how they're right. And then I kind of look at them like, okay, what are you paying me for? I've learned how to ask for help, and I've learned that I don't know it all, and I don't have to. I can just hire people that are smarter than me, put them on my team. I thought I had to do it all. And so they were the pivotal key learning points, that surround myself with great people that are smarter than me, that are better than me, and just stay in my lane. I'm an expert in certain subject matters. That's a good thing. Don't just focus on that. Triple down on that. The other areas, I don't have to be the guy. I don't need the ego. Let someone else do it. So that was probably the biggest learning experience that one moment did. It really shaped the next, 15 years.
Yeah. I reflect on, as you're saying, that, one of Dan Martell's favorite stories is about, when he was building a business, one of his employees came up to him and was like, "Hey, I have this problem. What do I do?" And he just looked at him and was like, "I don't know. I hired you to do that. If I was here to answer all the questions and solve all the problems, I wouldn't need you. So I trust you." And I think that's what it comes down to.
Yes.
Because if you don't trust your team, if you don't trust your people, then they're never going to meet their full potential. And you said the saying that I like personally, and I'm probably going to coin it a little bit, telling the help how to help. Like, I'm bringing them in. They might only do it at 80%, 90% my ability right now, but I've had years to perfect that, and they're already just as good as me. Now that allows me to go operate in my strike zone, go do the things that I love to do, that I'm great at, and let them continue to enhance and improve the process I already have in place, perhaps. And, when it goes about like selecting your team and building a strong team, I mean, what have you seen in your success that has allowed you to do that? Like, what are some of your takeaways for building a successful team?
Number one, they never get better than interview day. If you're not excited the first time you meet them, I'm telling you, move on. They're not the right one for your team. You have to be excited right? Because you're going to manage them. So I learned that. I had guys that were on paper studs, female studettes, like just killer candidates, right? And then the first day, I just, there was something. And I hired them anyway, and they never worked out. Anyone that I didn't get that excitement on day one never worked out in my experience. So that's number one. Trust your gut. It's not wrong. It's there for a reason. Number two, how they dressed, like what their appearance tells me everything. Because when they're meeting me, how they look is how they're gonna treat my customers, especially if it's a customer facing business, right? The respect or the attitude to like Gucci up a little bit, for me, they're not going to do it for my customers. So if I'm sending these guys out in front of my clients, I got to make sure they look right. It's important, man. Appearance matters. People make a decision on your product, your company right away. First impressions, it takes 7 times, right? Dale Carnegie taught us 7 times to change that first impression. So that's huge to me. So that's like, day one stuff. What did they play high level sports? Why do you think that's important to me?
Well, I mean, athletes have that, Mamba mentality, as a lot of people say. Like, they want to be the best, right?
I want to see that they've worked well with the team and that they've worked with other high level individuals. And you can't, that because being the guy when everyone else is great. But, tell me about what did you play? Oh, you played D1. Well, everybody's good, right? Or, oh, you played travel baseball, even in high school, right? That's travel baseball is tough to make for a lot of kids, right? Or I want to hear those experiences, because then I'm going to get to see how did they interact with their teammates? Were they the star? I can start asking questions to see because you got to be able to play nice with others. Top sales guys are great, but I want my team to have the Mamba mentality. I want to win. So I want to, dude, later in my career, I got to work with a company, and there's a guy, a VP of sales to this day. I still say Mike D is the best sales guy I've worked for, period, hands down. He has a surround the deal mentality. No lone wolf, man. We're all going to get in on this. And I think it was brilliance, but that's important to me. So I look for that. Are they gonna, try to help everyone win? And then lastly, if you're not successful in your personal life, how can you be successful in business? Floyd Wickman, old school book scale sales guy. But if their personal life is a dumpster fire, just run. They're not going to be successful in business. You're kidding yourself. So they're like the 4 keys when I'm interviewing, and it made it so much easier looking for management, even at the sales rep level. You can really just because it shouldn't be easy, because I want to hire 1 percenters. So that means I'm going to have to interview 99 to find the one. That's the game. Are you willing to do that as a hiring manager, as a consultant, as a CEO? Or are you going to take the easy soft way? So they were the differences I learned over the years. I did it the easy soft way in the beginning. Nightmare. Very costly. Turnover is very expensive.
Yeah, no, I hit the nail on the head with that. If you can't bring in top of the line talent, that's a you problem, because you're not looking hard enough. If they do not impress
they're
you
out there
from day one, they're absolutely out there. I mean, there's people that are willing to give everything for you and willing to go through the trenches and walk on fire for you if need be. But you have to look for them, and most importantly, you have to pay them what they're worth, because there's plenty of companies that want top of the line talent that aren't willing to pay top of the line salaries or top of the line compensation. Whether it's in sales or whether it's
everywhere, brother. Everybody, including me as an owner, I have a perceived value of what someone's worth to me in my business, because I can do every part of that business. So it finally makes sense to me, right? So I'm gonna drop this now. So tell me if you're tracking. So I get it now. I've done every job in the martial arts school, right? Everything, clean the toilets, taught the classes, build the building. So I've established a dollar amount that I think is worth, because, I can do that. So I think that's what a lot of CEOs do. They don't realize that, yes, you can, but I got to pay someone a wage that's going to get them excited to do that job and keep doing it. Right. So I can either turn over, but, be Roz, right? Barry was my first sales mentor, one of the most influential, if not the most influential, right? So when you say mentor, I think of him immediately, right? And Barry said, it's not about the people. It's all about the people. That's it, man. It's that simple. You just nailed you hit the moving target in all of entrepreneurship business is, dude, it's about the people. You got to pay them, and you really got to overpay them. You have to pay people more than they're worth to keep them, because companies will steal and they don't care. They'll just go in, they'll throw money at people. Money's not all. And so what I've also learned is the top money ain't always the answer. Right? We both have seen guys come and go in our career and get spit up and chewed out, and they're making good money, but they just ain't built for it. Right? Some people just aren't built for that lifestyle. I'm now at a point where I want my time is the most precious commodity. I need to make a livable wage, and what a livable wage is for me, it might be different for everyone else. Right? I have a lifestyle I'm accustomed to. Right? But I'm not chasing the titles anymore. I'm making sure I have enough. What that's done is I've actually slowed down, take less work, but I'm picking and choosing my clients now. How cool is that? What an amazing position to be in. I get to say no today.
Right. Absolutely. We're as a society accustomed to say yes, 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 yes for more money, more glory, more fame, whatever it is. But in reality, the one thing we can't make more of, we can make more money, we can't make more time. So that's awesome. Yeah. Which you actually said something a little while ago, saying that right now you're the happiest and you're thriving the best. What are you doing right now? Like, what's your life look like?
So remember at the beginning, I said in 2020, they told me I had 18 months to live. So I got diagnosed with 5 incurable chronic and progressive disorders. I did the traditional methods, and that got me to 119 pounds, throwing up blood daily. It was not looking good. I had no hope. I was going to even go out of the country to look at alternative methods until I found New Hope Regeneration. They are an American-based company right here in the U.S. They've been doing regenerative cellular therapy in the U.S. for 10 years. Right? Completely legal, 100% safe, over 350,000 therapies, 0 side effects, right? They're helping people live their best life. You're not your diagnosis. There is hope for healing. So I tried it. It was a fraction of the cost, right? Out of country, it's $35,000, right? In country, it's anywhere from 20 to 30. These guys are doing therapy for $3,500 for 1 cc, $500 for 2 cc's. Legit. And I was like, I had nothing to lose. So what do I care, right? Sign me up. Well, in January of 2023, I stopped all prescriptions. I was on 17 prescriptions per day. I'm now 2 years and 4 months, 0 medicines, brother. I'm completely all natural. I still have battling chronic, incurable everything, but this is the best I've felt, the best I've looked. And now I get to travel the country. I came in as a paying client. Here's the sales guy in me. I'm now one of the leaders in the company. I basically worked my way in and said, I need a job because I should be doing this. Literally, he's like, I can't afford you. I'm like, I don't care. Like, what can we do? Let's figure it out. Now I'm doing it. I'm traveling the country the last year, telling stories, helping grow, this business, my personal martial arts, and I'm just having the time of my life because I'm literally have more time. It's regenerative medicine. So it stopped, what the things that were happening and gave me more hope, helped me heal. I'm back up to 140 pounds and I'm teaching martial arts again. I'm opening a new business with my son at the lake in Lake Ariel, Pennsylvania, another martial arts school. Now we're going to do it together. Family business. So again, beyond my wildest dreams, God is good, man. Like I can do anything that I put my mind to. I just got to be willing to do the work. That's the biggest thing, brother. People just don't like, I get up some days 4:30 and I do hot sauna, cold plunge, 4-mile walk, yoga, nutraceuticals, vitamins in an infusion, right? I do all that just to get on and do a Zoom sometimes, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be successful.
I mean, it goes back to what you said, winners are going to find a way to win. And, whether it's winning in athletics, winning in professional life, winning in whatever it is, like they're going to find a way. So, I mean, I'm sure everybody's suffering from some type of ailment, whether it's chronic or whether it's just back pain because they're just getting old, because life is life. And the one thing that's guaranteed, there's only 3 things guaranteed in life: birth, death, and taxes.
Bingo.
So the fact of the matter is, like, we want to maximize the time that we got here. So, what types of people would be ideal for, your types of services?
Everyone. So here's the best part, brother. Stem cells are our body's natural repair system. So when we're born, 1 in 10,000 of our cells are stem cells. When we hit 50, 1 in 400,000 are stem cells. The problem is we're degenerates. We literally degenerate. So when you add umbilical cord donated stem cells from a healthy mother and a healthy baby, it's like winning the Mega Millions for your body. It floods my system with things that are already there, activates my dormant cells. It's the trifecta: antifungal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. It's the world's natural and most powerful anti-inflammatory. They wake up and they just say, go to work. My shoulders hurt. Let's start repairing it. That back. So people come in, neck, back, hips, shoulders, knees, and then they're playing pickleball again. They're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They're playing with their grandkids. They can hold, like one of our clients couldn't hold the newborn baby, did therapy and held the baby for like 3 hours, sent a text message crying. Like, so you're not your diagnosis. That's what I'm doing now. I'm shouting to the mountaintops that the rest of your life truly can be the best of your life. Everybody's a candidate because it's an all natural therapy. We can't make it worse.
So if someone was looking for information about the services, like how do they get in contact with you? Because you're obviously a living, breathing example that this stuff works.
I will talk to anybody and do a discovery meeting free of charge. Sparks at newhoperegeneration.com or Sensei Sparks at Instagram. There's videos, there's online seminars. I'll even set them up after they speak with me with a free complimentary medical consultation. Some places charge up to $400 for that. So I just want to get this out so that people know they have an option for their family members, their friends. So yeah, man, if they send me a message, sparks at newhoperegeneration.com or Sensei Sparks at Instagram, we'll set up a discovery meeting and then we'll get you set for a free medical consultation. So thank you for that, Jay. But I definitely, I want to help as many people as I can.
It goes back to what I said, and I've said it many times. It's about what we can do for other people, not about what we can do for ourselves. So
absolutely.
Sparks, thanks so much for jumping on, man. You blessed me with some knowledge today. I hope that you blessed a lot of others as well, and I hope it something resonated with them, which I know it did. And I just look forward to watching your journey even further. Everybody, thank you for tapping in today and listening in and getting a little bit of knowledge from Sen Sparks, and I'm looking forward to the future episodes as we move forward. So Sparks, thank you so much, man.
I can't wait to come back later on when you have 100 of these things and all the blessings, brother. You're going to be successful because you're doing it. You already are. You're winning. So just keep winning, man. Just every day, stack those wins, baby boy. So I'm proud of you. Great job.
Thank you, brother, man. Hey, have a great day, guys, and audience. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.